Mr. Devine, how do I get a good grade in your class? How do I get an A? If that's the question you're asking, you are asking the wrong question. Why? Because I'm more concerned that you're coming to school to learn rather than coming to school to be taught. Think about that for a minute. Are you coming to school to learn, or are you coming to be taught? Because if you're coming to learn, you could have the worst teacher ever and you're still going to learn something. But if you come to be taught, you're just going to be like, feed me, feed me, feed me. But you know who is responsible for your learning? You are. You're responsible for your learning. So asking me how I'm going to grade or how to get an A, that's the wrong question to ask. But I get it. I understand, because for many of you, grades are really important to you. I hope that we can get to the point where that's important to everybody, how well you do, not so much the actual score you receive. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you take an exam and you do the absolute best that you can on it, and you get a C or a D or an F or 10%, no matter what you get, but you know that you studied hard, that you did your best, it doesn't matter what your grade is. But if you get an A minus and you know that you could have done better, but you were just lazy, that's worse than getting an F. So I want you to learn to not be so concerned with what your grade is. See, a lot of people have a misunderstanding about grades. Grades are supposed to be a tool for me as your teacher to figure out, did these students get this new concept? Does everybody understand it? And then if everyone understands it, we can go on to the next concept. But if there's some people who are still missing it, then I have to adapt and readjust my teaching until everybody gets that. If it's something important, if I feel like it's something important to your music knowledge, then I want to make sure that everybody gets that. So just a mind shift for this, okay? So instead of thinking, what is my grade? Think about how you're going to improve. If you come to class every day and you're paying attention when we're working online, when we get to in-person classes, if you're paying attention the entire time and you're trying to get better and you're striving to improve, and every day you come in and you're like, teach me some more. I'm here to learn, Mr. Vine. What can I do? What can I do next? I studied this on my own when I wasn't in class. I watched this video. I did a search on how to play a C on clarinet, and look what I learned. I will get so excited with you if I see you taking charge of your own learning that way. So here's what I want you to think about. In my class, don't compare this to other classes, because every teacher is going to have their own system and their own way of doing things. But in my class, and in my class only, I want you to think of grading this way. I'm going to get an A. I don't need to be stressed or worried. Now, there's a risk that I take in doing that. You know why? Because unfortunately, there will be a couple of students who won't do anything. They won't be the ones who take charge of their own learning. It'll only be a small percentage of students, but they'll say, Mr. Devine, you told me not to worry about my grade. But that's not all I said. I said a bunch of other things. I said you had to come in and want to learn. You had to be a willing student. You had to come and try hard. You had to let me stretch you. Those students are going to get Fs. And I'll give you an example of one of my biggest classes I ever had one time. It was a guitar class with about 65 students in it. And I told them this exact same thing I'm telling you guys. I said, come in class, work hard every day. When it came time for the grading period, 62 of those 65 students had A's. Was it an easy A? No, don't ever call it an easy A, because it's not an easy A. They worked hard, but they came to class every day, and I often made them redo tests. And I'll do that to you too. It doesn't mean that you're not doing well. It just means that there's some concepts in the tests that you did not learn yet. And I want you to learn those concepts and take it on to the next level. So basically on a test, I only give 2 grades. A, and retake. Now, retake isn't really a grade, but if you, for some reason, choose not to retake it, even though I'm spurring you on and encouraging you and giving you the teaching you need, but you refuse to accept it and you're just like, I don't care about this class. I don't care about what my grade is. Let me go back to that class of 65 guitar students. 62 received A's. There were no B's, no C's, and no D's. 3 students received F's. Why? They came to class every day and they would hold their guitar, and that's all they did. If I tried to show them something as simple, it's like, take this finger and push it right there and now strum the string. I don't know how to do that. They didn't want to. But you know what? At first I felt bad because I want all my students to succeed. But then when I looked at their other grades, pretty much all their classes they had F's in. You see, because it was their mindset. It wasn't the teacher's fault as much as they tried to blame the teacher. It wasn't their parents' fault as much as some of them tried to blame their parents. It was their own fault. So come to class prepared, whether it's online or in person. Be ready to learn. Come to school to learn, not to be taught. And there is a difference in that. And you're going to succeed. And if you have a teacher who grades hard and doesn't allow for retests, and you have a C or a D or an F in their class, but you have busted your butt and you know that you worked hard and you got with a tutor to help you and you asked that teacher for help and you asked other teachers for help to try to pass that class, if you've done everything you know to do, come and talk to me because I might be able to help you. Sometimes some students are afraid to talk to teachers. I don't know why. Some students even tell me they're afraid of me when they first meet me. But after they know me a couple of weeks, I don't think any of them are afraid of me. But come to school to learn and not to be taught. And you will succeed throughout your entire life. If no one has told you yet today that they love you, I want you to know that I love you.